Fight on!
Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and you're back with me in the apartment. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Mortal Kombat the Arcade Part 4, and my favorite part, the memories. So we're going to get right into it. Man, I've been excited about this one. Huge response already in Mortal Kombat. A lot of people wanting to hear the memories of this. I've been getting a lot of personal messages and emails saying, Steve, let's go. I'm like, alright, it's coming. And now we're here. So at the end of this video also, I'm going to be showing you the new setup in the, I guess, spare bedroom mini arcade right now. I'm actually, well, I'll show you at the end how I've done it. So let's get right into it. And of course, before we always start the memories, I'm going to light up a reflection stick, which is another word for a cigar, to, I guess, reminisce back and take us back to 1992. Now, let me light this up. This is the Cohiba Esplendido. For any of you wondering how I'm smoking a Cuban cigar, I'm Canadian, so it is legal, and hopefully soon to be an American, like American-owned product now with the whole embargo talk, and I hope that comes to pass. So with that being said, let's cut this up, let's light it up, and reminisce because Mortal Kombat, man, because I got some stories that, again, I've been waiting for, and it's been anticipated. So let me light this up. So what we're going to be doing is I'll start pretty much how I heard about Mortal Kombat and get into it. Again, I have my cheat sheet available. I have to. I have ideas during the week that I write down, like, yep, I want them to share with this. And of course, bringing you back to the early 90s, I got my Wu-Tang Clan shirt on. I'm a big hip-hop head, always have been since I was a kid. I love all music, from old rock to, you know, heavy metal to anything it is. But my go-to genre and my favorite is hip-hop. So I'm representing that in one of, I think, best hip-hop groups of all time. So, with that being said, let's light this up. I even got a Cohiba lighter from a friend of mine in Christmas, this one that passed. So, let's take it back. Oh, come on. Okay. So obviously I should have done this because I have to refuel it. Let me get to it. I don't want to waste time because it might be a little longer. I don't want to keep my videos a little shorter and more to the point with more substance. And by the way, I've been getting a lot of feedback and I have taken in consideration. If you have noticed in the last 2 videos, I'm swearing less. I love swearing, don't get me wrong. If you met me in real life, I'm going off. Not as a bad thing. It's not like I'm uneducated. I know it sounds vulgar and just not right. People that swear a lot are usually don't know a bigger vocabulary, don't have a bigger vocabulary, and use that as a introductory word or an insert word for something else. But it's always been part of me. I've always been kind of a foul-mouthed kid. Not as a bad thing, just as the way I talk because I'm extremely passionate. But with that, I have taken a lot of consideration. I'm not going to swear as much. I want to get a broader audience, and there's no really need for it, unless, again, it's I have to, which in this one I may. So if you have younger kids, it is what it is. Now, sorry about the wait. Let me light this up. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's get started. Actually, let me make sure. Yeah, we're on. All right, let's get started. All right. This is how it all began. The year's 92. Arcade scenes in full effect. If you haven't checked out my Street Fighter II Memories Champion Edition, check back my old videos because it's a kind of a continuation how this now is going to move forward. This is how it all started. If you all know my past videos, my older brother Mike was the king of arcades. He was God King. He was smoking everyone. He was a legend in his own right, and I looked up to him. Everyone did, my friends, family, whatever else. And a lot of people learned from him as I did. Being a little brother, I'm 3 years younger. So Mike's kicking ass in the actual Street Fighter scene. Like again, if you heard my video, I don't want to repeat it, but you'll understand what I mean. So he's doing his thing. He's wrecking people up in the arcade. I'm learning. I'm doing the same thing to my best of my knowledge. Here's where whisper became rumor, and rumor became myth, and myth became legend. It was like the One Ring, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, that whispers in the shadows and something was coming, that I knew something was up, but Mike wouldn't tell me. In '92, I was 12 years old. I was born in 1980. So around that time, I was kind of getting my footing. I would kind of understand what's going on with the arcade and being more social. So in my early teens, I started attending Greek school. My parents put all of the three brothers in. My younger brother was just getting started. Mike and I, my older brother, were in Greek school. My parents forced us to go. We hated it. Hated Greek school. So after we got home from regular school, like English school, it was 3:30ish, 4ish. We ate, got ready, and we had to go be in class from 6 to 9 at night. So when all the other kids were playing hockey, baseball, whatever else, we were learning more. And I was pissed off. I'm like, I don't want more school. No kid does. We had no choice. Not to mention, we had this teacher, Miss Kula, or in Greek, Kyria Kula. Kyria means like female teacher. 600-pound land monster that would Godzilla her way in class and yell at us for no reason. You know, and we hated it. But now, looking back, I thank my parents immensely. Because now I know English very well and I know Greek as well. And now, being my wife is also Greek and we've been back to Greece to visit and whatever, we can communicate and it's a great thing. So actually, you have to thank my parents for that. But at the time, when I was 12, we didn't give a shit. So, we're in Greek school, right? And how this is relevant. Mike's the king of arcades and Street Fighter. We're doing our thing. We go to Greek school. My parents drop us off at 5:30. We ate a little and she would give us money for a snack because God forbid a Greek child goes hungry after 15 meals a day. So our parents gave us money to eat, came like the vending machine or whatever else. Well, as the weeks went by and months went by, the teachers would always say to me, what's with Mike? What's with your brother? He's always late coming to class. I'm like, what do you mean he's late? My parents dropped us off at the same time. It's the same school. So Greek school was a high school, like an English school. And if they had a certain amount of classes separated or segregated, like the upper level of the high school, just for other activities, Greek school. They had some other, I think, like Chinese school and whatever else. But we had Greek school in this location. And I told her, what do you mean my brother's late? It doesn't make sense. She goes, your brother's late, he never comes to class. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he's out playing with his friends, maybe he's smoking, maybe he's fooling around with girls. I don't know. I was 12. Like I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. Well, that was suspicious. I'm like, why is Mike always late? I didn't say anything to my parents. I left it. Fine. Remember, back in '92, cell phones were extremely scarce. Like, it was very few and far between, and often they were car phones, not within the home or handheld. So we only had a house phone, and maybe, if you had a little more money, a second line. We did not. Mike would be on the phone with his guys, friends. I remember when you pick up the other phone, you can hear what the other people are saying. I remember picking up the phone, being like, what's going on? They're talking about video games, I heard them. Now I'm curious. So I pick up the line, and Mike's talking about, yeah, this game, you know, it's supposed to be better than Street Fighter, and you can kill people. Mike heard me on the line. He's, get off the fucking phone! Get off! Slam. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? He goes, if you ever do that again, you're never coming to the arcades with me again. I'm like, no! Never again did I listen in. And I'm like, wait a minute, why is he getting so whatever about this? Something was up. Something was afoot. I'm like, what is happening? Why is he always being so secretive about this? Well, what came to be now is fate would have it that, remember, Mike knew the arcade vendors well because he was the guy. So, again, if you hear my old video on Street Fighter The Memories, you'd understand that a lot of the vendors would pay my brother to play So there's a lineup of people, and he would just wax them and kick their ass. So people would be pumping in quarters to try to beat my brother, like hustling them. My big money, big money. So Mike got the inside, because the vendors, they would know. So they tipped my brother out saying, Mike, listen, later on this year, I know Street Fighter's hot. We got word that out of Chicago, in the US, there's a new game coming out that's supposed to be better than Street Fighter, more competitive, and more gruesome. My brother jumped on this. Turns out, no word of a lie, where our Greek school was, across the street was a coffee shop owned by Greeks. So Mike found this out and said, look, there's a coffee shop there, it's owned by Greeks, you know the language, he felt safe, it was close to Greek school. Mike would ditch school. So my parents dropped us off at 5:30. The class was at 6. Mike would show up around 7. So I wouldn't know this because I went to hang out with my friends younger. I couldn't hang out with the older kids because I wasn't cool. You know how it is. So Mike would ditch school with this $10 in quarters. Remember, this is 92. This is in Canada. $10, compared to the US dollar, even now, was a lot lower. So $10 was a lot. Mike was, he'd be 15, 16. So he would get $10 worth of quarters that our parents gave, or $10 worth of, money. He would exchange it to quarters, and he would secretly learn and teach himself Mortal Kombat when no one saw. So when he would then visit an arcade, with his reputation of being the best, you can't come correct. Or you gotta come correct. You can't go in there being the best Street Fighter guy and not knowing how to play Mortal Kombat. Once you're a fighting game fan, if you don't know what you're doing on multiple levels, your reputation, you're done. So Mike knew this. He would skip school, go to the coffee shop, old school Greeks there smoking, he was protected, just in case. Well, here's what he would do, and this is funny. So Mike would be playing player 1, right? He'd be there learning all the moves, all the finishing moves and fatalities before anyone did. So Mike would buy a box of donuts, which is $2 at the time, set them right here, right on the control panel. And then he would put the actual donut with the hole in it on the actual control panel, so no one can play. So people would be like, oh, what is that? Older adults and young adults would bring their kids or their nephews or whatever, or brothers and sisters, and be like, I want to play. And Mike's like, no. He would have the box of donuts right there, the actual hole right in there. You can't play it, and Mike's actually playing. So Mike's he's learning. He's learning how to play. He's doing his thing. I knew something was up. So what happened? Mike was getting away with it for a good month. We knew something was up, but I didn't know where he was. One day, Mike was late again. Where the hell's your brother? Don't know. One of the teachers was also late. So before he came to Greek school to teach us, one of the other ones, the advanced ones, he was a male teacher. God forbid I had my fat female. Anyways. The same teacher, being Greek, goes to the Greek coffee shop. Makes sense, right? Mike got caught. So this guy's rolling in 6:30. Mike should have been in class. We all should have. Sees Mike playing with a box of donuts, pumping in quarters, and he's like, what are you doing here? You should be in class. And he got caught red-handed. Literally, with Mortal Kombat, with the blood. So Mike's like, no, it's the first time. He goes, no, we know you're lying. That's where you've been all this time. Calls our parents. My mom gave him shit. Why are you in class? We spend good money. What a waste of time. Da-da-da-da. You should be proud to be Greek. The whole thing. He got caught. Everyone found out. Everyone started playing. All the kids. Word got out that, who was playing. But Mike was ready. He had a month head start on everybody. 1 month. Let me try not to take it out like last time. So, Mike has a head start. I'm begging him, teach me, let me see. You know, I always wanted to see what's with this game. Because remember, this was life. It looks like real people. Where Street Fighter is cartoon, it's anime. So I'm like, Mike, take me, please, take me, please. He's like, alright, here's where shit went real. So, I remember one day, it was a weekend, and Mike was like, we had to go to the mall, one of the malls near where we used to live. Within the mall, there was a variety store that had a separate outside entrance, so you can enter through the mall and outside of the mall. And a dual entrance. And we would go to like a sports store, because we used to play baseball and hockey often. And my younger brother, my mom, I think, wanted to get him a baseball glove, or my mom wanted to go shopping. And what happened was, it turns out one of the that variety store in the mall had Mortal Kombat 1. So what happens? I remember the day like it was yesterday. Mike's like, Steve, we're going to go to this mall that Mom's going to take us. My dad was working. You're ready. My younger brother George was 6 years younger than me, so he was 6. He didn't really grasp, he didn't care. He was with he was a mama's boy, still is. So, Mike, pretty much by hand, is like, let's go. Let me show you what I've been doing. I'm like, oh my god, it's real. Goosebumps, like I swear, I'm getting them right now. I'm like, oh my god. I walk into this variety store, and you can't really even see it. You can't even, like, you'd have to kind of go in the corner. It was in the corner, it was loud, 6 people, you know, deep, 2 players, around 8 people around the machine, and then patrons going in, buying cigarettes, buying milk, whatever, what have you. So I come to this machine, right? And I'm seeing these dragons, Mortal Kombat, the side art with a guy doing a thing. It looks cool. It's bigger. It's just darker. It looks cool. And I'm seeing skeletons. I'm seeing real fighters. And I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. And Mike's like, let's check out the competition. Hell, like, stay back, watch. I was shorter then, well, I'm still am, but I was shorter then, so it was kind of like peering over people to see what's going on, because there was commotion. It's like, ah! Oh my god, ah! And I'm like, what the hell is going on? What could be so crazy? Mike, see if you'll see. Remember, nobody, because where the donut shop got it, it was one of the first vendors to get it. This variety store only had it for around a week. So Mike already knew the fatalities. Mike already knew every move. So the cool thing about that, and this is what I loved about the 90s and when our arcades were fresh, is there was no internet. Like, there was maybe a 14.4, if you guys remember, a 14.4K modem, which is dial-up, like, and it was terrible. So getting information about this was very rare. The internet was like, yeah, no one really uses it. So finding information was not go online now or on our phones and be like, I know every fatality and every trick and every netcode and everything. Nah, not at all. You'd have to literally like travel the world or travel the local area to find who knows what and speak to people and being social. Like we were talking last video about, remember being social with people and actually talking instead of e-thugging online and talking shit? Well, Mike was ready. I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. Couldn't wait. So Mike was like, okay, let's check these guys. Let's see how they are. Button mashing. Didn't know what they were doing. Maybe throwing a projectile out or a fireball or the freeze. Couple people learned scorpions, come here and all that. So we were ready. So what happens? I'm sitting there. I'm chilling. We're waiting. Customers are coming in. They're kind of even they're curious. Why is these kids going nuts? People. I mean, I remember these kids, man. They were playing. The guy would lose, run to his mom because it was a story mall. Like it wasn't a dual, like a second story or second level. It was one. So you can see the kid literally like, oh, I lost, and running, and you can see his mom shopping for shoes, him jumping and down begging for quarters, and him running back like, all right, I'm ready to go back in line. And you know and there was one guy that was just beating everyone. So there was, the one guy that was like, oh, he's beating everyone. He was Scorpion, I think. He was Scorpion. No fatalities were done. None. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Mike, because I didn't want to release anything, so we spoke in Greek. I told Mike in Greek, do you know, good old Greek school, do you know the fatalities? And he kind of looked at me and he goes in Greek, don't worry. And I'm like, uh-oh. So the time came. It was Mike's turn. He had next. I wasn't even in line. Mike's like, wait back. Let me play. I'm like, all right. Mike's chilling back, or I'm chilling back. Mike's ready to go. Puts in his quarters, 50 cents. He picks Johnny Cage. I'm like, oh, cool. Johnny, who's that? Picks Johnny Cage. This guy's looking at my brother, whatever, like, whatever. Mike destroys this guy. Kills him. Remember, the guy that was beating everyone else would have like 8, 9 wins. He was the guy. Mike comes in, unassuming, quiet, with his little brother, me. I'm sitting there with a slushie, slushing it up, waiting, cherry flavored. Mike gets in, Johnny Cage, finish him, knocks. You guys know I'll show you the fatality. And I'm going to do my gameplay next video. I remember Mike beat the guy. So in Street Fighter, when you beat him, you just defeat your opponent. In Mortal Kombat, you can kill and finish your opponent off. Finish him or her. I'm seeing this. I'm like, finish him? Like, everybody was like, because everyone, like, when it said finish him, people just go and kick or uppercut the guy, and that was it. Now, everyone knew the pit fatality. In the pit fatality, it's kind of a freebie. If you just do a normal uppercut, hold down either high or low punch, it'll knock him into the pit. That was the big... So remember I was saying when we came in, we heard commotion, everybody was going mad, like, ah, whatever. That was the pit fatality. Everybody thought that was the big thing. They didn't see nothing else. Mike beats this guy. Finish him. We're all like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Everybody wasn't kind of even paying attention. They're like, yo, Mike just beat this guy. Or this guy just beat this guy. He's better. So everybody's salivating, anticipating the fight. I hear finish him for the first time in my... Look, I swear to God, the HD won't pick it up. Maybe 4K. Goosebumps, if you can see my hair. It says finish him. I'm like, what the hell is that? The kids are kind of just like, oh, he beat him. Mike goes up to this guy. Forward, high punch. And knocks his fucking head off. Fatality. And everyone loses their absolute shit. I was stunned like I just saw a murder. Because I was like this. Like, whatever. People are taller than me, whatever. So they were like, yeah, whatever. And I'm sitting here with my slushie. My brother goes up to this guy and knocks his head straight off. Because the Johnny Cage, the head knockoff in this fatality is faster than any other knockoff in any Mortal Kombat. It's quick. Boom, boom. Geez, you happy? And I'll show you really quick. Mike knocks this guy's head off. I'm literally... Like I just saw a gunshot or someone get shot in the face. I'm like, ah! And slushy everywhere. There goes my shirt. My mom's going to kill me. People are like, ah! Ah! The owner of the store is like, the owner of the store thought a fight broke out. It was a little Korean lady. She's another Korean lady, the variety store. She's losing her shit. She's like, yo, calm down. You have to go. Like, what's happening? The customers in the store buying cigarettes, smoking, because remember, smoking, you're allowed. They're like, what the hell's going on? No more trouble. No, you gotta go, whatever. Because everybody's like, what the hell? The place erupts. Now remember, the mall's open like I told you. Parents hear this. Kids, like zombies, The Walking Dead, like, I hear noise and excitement, start zombieing their way in. Everyone fucking loses it. I'm like, oh my, I was like, oh my, and Mike's sitting there like nothing happened. So all of a sudden they're like, what the hell did this guy do? Now, the guy that got his head just smoked right off started saying, everyone said this. How did you do that? Oh my God, teach me, tell me, whatever. So Mike's like, no, I don't know how I did it. It was an accident. They knew he was bullshitting because he was so precise. Forward, high punch, dead. Right up to the guy. Everyone's going crazy. I knew Mike was going to tell me. I'm his brother. I hope. I'm going nuts. People are going nuts. I'm in awe. My mom is yet, an hour. She goes, here's money. I'll be back in an hour. This just happened. People are going crazy. I'm like, holy shit. Everyone's going crazy. So, Mike's Johnny Cage. Now what's happening is, of course, the guy that loses, it's, who got next. They put the quarters right here. They come around. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play against my brother. He was going to kill me. But I was that little brother. I'm like, yeah, that's my brother, yeah. Jamming. Next kid comes up. I think it was a double flawless and a fatality. It was the biggest waste of 50 cents in the history of money. Kid comes up, he's like, yeah, whatever, smoked, gone. Boom, fatality out of his head. Huge. So everybody's going nuts. Now here's the thing. It got to the point that they knew Mike was unbeatable. Like they go, fuck it, there's no way we're going to win. So what happens? No one played player one. They left it vacant. So Mike can go against the computer. Mike's beating the computer. Everybody, it's like seeing porn for the first time. You just don't say nothing. Eyes glued, what's happening? Oh my God, it's wrong, but it's amazing. It's not like porn now where you can go online and you just sit there with like an idiot for hours. We're sitting there like everyone is waiting, like ready. Oh my God, so rating comes up, Sonya, so everyone's coming up getting killed by my brother. Now remember, back then, people were so competitive that you wouldn't even get to the end. So when you play the game, you see it going down from Shang Tsung, Goro, Endurance, Mirror Match, and then all the competitors, the combatants. Let me see where, one sec, let me see where I'm on the video. Actually, I'm going to cut away for a second. I'm going to quickly relight this. I'm going to give you what happens now. I'm going to cut back in a sec. I'm going to give you what happens next when Mike starts getting further the computer and the awe and the excitement of being young again. Alright guys, we're back. So, I actually took a pause just to relight the cigar, and I wanted to show you what I meant with when Mike got to the boss for the first time ever. So do you see how there's Goro? And this is the last Endurance. Now if you notice, the music is different. So let me set this up. So the music, if you hear it, sounds badass. Now every other, and I'm gonna lose on purpose really quick. Now, and in Endurance, if you don't know Mortal Kombat is, you have to fight two guys in one. Now, so what's happening? Everybody's watching Mike play. We're all watching him. And we get to there's three Endurances, this is the last one. And the music is different. So we're waiting to say, oh my God, who's Goro? What's Goro? What's going on? So, let me play this back. Now again, Michael, I'll pretend I'm Mike, but I was kicking in the background. I'll pretend you guys is the shoulder cannon. The shoulder camera is me when I was a kid, when I was 12. So, Mike's playing. We hear this music. It's Goro's Lair. Now, we don't know it's called Goro's Lair, but it's a different stage. So we're like, oh my God, what is this? It's a skeleton in the back. I'm going to just cheese up the computer. So we're like, oh my god, what's happening? So, so everybody's watching. Now I'm gonna keep quiet because there's things that you can hear. Okay, that was actually a pretty good run. Wow, flawless too. Okay, so now, if you hear closely, you can hear roars of Goro and the screen jumping because he's pounding the screen. So everybody, you can hear a pin drop. So I'm not gonna say nothing. Let me make sure this is recording. Yeah. So, listen. You hear that growl? You see things going crazy. So I'm Mike, ready? Everybody's like, oh my god, finish him! Boom, there's a head thing. The screen didn't go black. So we're like, what the hell? So we're like, what happened? Oh my god, he's on fire! Ah! People were like, what the fuck is that? Oh my god, he's trying to... So Mike, now, keep in mind, it's not like Goro's that easy. Well, I'll show you how I can cheese him out. But I'm getting as you can see, Goro, I mean, he's smoking us. Mike's getting caught up in the hype because people are just bumping into him. Oh my god, what the shit? People are like bumping, like, you know, trying to like creep. There's commotion. The people in the store buying smokes, milk, whatever. Oh, you know how loud that is in real life? Oh my god, everybody's going crazy. So, Mike gets to Goro. People are going crazy. We don't know what's happening. It doesn't say Goro wins just because the limited RAM on the, or memory on the actual game. So we're like, what the hell was that? Okay, now let me try to beat him. Well, I have you quick. And again, gameplay video coming next video, which is going to be fun. But when I say the goosebumps, the anticipation, the roars, the pounding, what the hell is coming? Oh my god! And this four-arm, half-dragon, half-human monster appears. The other opponent, his head is off. He's on fire. So Mike's, now remember, when you get to Goro, I'm gonna try to cheese him out, but when you get to, he's normally not this easy, but I don't know, I'm just getting a little lucky, but we're like, oh my god, what's happening? Either way, so we're at Goro, we're going nuts! People are going crazy, oh my god, Mike beat Goro! Like, because we're thinking he's the last guy. But he's not, Shang Tsung is. So we're thinking if this guy's impossible, mind you, again, I'm doing pretty good against him now, but... So we're doing this, and oh my god, Mike's beating him, and everybody's going around, looking at him go crazy. And then we're thinking, does Goro have a fatality? And then the rumors, so I just beat him. So okay, I beat Goro. Mike beats Goro, everyone's going crazy, they thought to finish the game. Wrong! Shang Tsung, what the hell is this old man? He was the one watching on the other parts of the stage. We're like, oh my god, and then he turns into different people. It's a shapeshifter. He turns into whatever. He turns into whatever. Oh my god, he's back to Goro, so he can turn into everyone. Shit. So, so everyone's going nuts. Everyone's going nuts. People are smoking. Everyone wants to see the ending. So we're like, you know, who is this, you know, old mystic, who's this old man? He's throwing fireballs, he can transfer into anyone. People are glued to this like the moon landing. We don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what's going to go on. You know, everybody just, it's loud, it's crazy. Let me try to just beat him here really quick. Oh, shit. God! No! Yeah, I beat him, okay. So, the screen's going crazy, right? Everyone's going crazy. Now the thing is, this is why the epileptic thing was, you know, put at the top of the screen. There's so much flashing. One of the kids starts getting sick. I guess he has epilepsy. He starts going off, and I'm thinking he's dancing. Okay, well, here's the ending anyways. So let me put you guys back. So, as you can see, everyone's going nuts. Let's see how far back. You can make you straight here. So the game's over, right? Everyone, the game's over. Even the parents were watching, not knowing what's going on. The parents are watching. They're going crazy. Mike just beat this game. It's the first time people saw it. You know, Goro was, oh my god, people were going crazy. Who's Shang Tsung? Can you beat Goro? You know, like they're trying to find ways how to beat him. We start pumping more quarters in and whatever else. And everyone was going nuts. Well, I remember the hype, the excitement, the nerves, the goosebumps, the vulgarity, the swearing, the smoking. Nothing's changed. Parents seeing blood for the first time. You know, crazy Goro, Shang Tsung. Man, it's going madness, madness, madness. Are we far back enough? See, I'm screwed. I knew there was going to be an issue with the with it focusing. Are we good or what? Is this focused? So yeah. So I'm sorry for the autofocus. It's going crazy, but so that was pretty much Mortal Kombat, man. I mean, it was absolute madness. Yeah. Now again, here's what happened. Mike finishes the game. Everyone's asking how, who, what, why, where, all of them. People are going crazy. So, everyone starts asking Mike, how do you do the fatalities? How do you beat them? Well, here's the funny thing. It was still early because the game's pretty quick if you do it fast. And people started saying to Mike, look, God damn it. Well, so people started saying to Mike, now it's quieter, how do you do the moves? Don't bullshit me. Mike's like, I'm not going to tell you. So what they did was, they knew Mike was firm to say, I'm not telling you. Now, the funny thing is, when he did the fatalities, he would cover it. So he'd be like this. So you couldn't see them. And people are getting a little pissed off. I would. And they would say, look, Mike, if you're not going to tell us, fine. They wanted to see all the fatalities. So again, Mike's playing for free. How? The people watching would say, so the game's over. Normally you put quarters in again. So they'd say to Mike, teach us the moves. He said no. If you're not going to teach us, show us. So Mike's like, all right. They paid for him to play. So he didn't pay nothing. He still had the money in his pocket. They paid for him. So what was happening is, we were playing, and they put the quarters in. So Mike went through it all. Did the Johnny Cage already. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Kano, Sonya. And they picked everyone. And did all their fatalities. Kano, yeah. And did all their fatalities, but covering it. So everyone saw all the fatalities. And I remember there was a payphone in the mall. And one of the kids was like, yo, don't leave, I'm going to call my friends. Mike was playing, these kids, now mind you, if it was now, you'd text someone and say, yo, come to the variety store. They would run to the payphone, use their quarter, call their friends, get your ass down here. This guy's mastered Mortal Kombat. Come in, and they would wait, so they'd and they'd pay. So they went through all the fatalities. Now remember, I've never seen this. So through every character, Mike's just murking everyone. Everyone more gruesome than the next. So Johnny Cage's headlock, the Scorpion, the breath fire, Raiden blowing your head off electricity, the kiss of death, the heart rip, which parents were losing it. The spine rip with Sub-Zero, like I told you last video. That's what started the SRB, the actual rating, or whatever it's called, for the actual video games. This started it. This is history. Oh, parents are like, oh my God, it's so violent. I don't want my kids playing. They were taking their kids away. Don't you ever play this? Censoring them. And that's how it came to be, man. It just started. So what happened? Everyone heard, you know, the big thing. So at the arcades or wherever, Mike would go to the arcades. Same thing. Vendors got to know where they had Street Fighter, they'd put Mortal Kombat right beside, like two rival enemies. Now what happened? People started to pay Mike for the moves. And Mike would sell them. He'd be like, look, I'll teach you one fatality, $5 each in all their moves, and make money out of it. And he would play for free. And he would eat for free because the vendors are feeding him to play. So Mike all of a sudden started becoming the Mortal Kombat king. And he would be like, so he'd be like, he would murder everyone in Street Fighter. Still, the people would buy the game off Mike and say, hey, if you want my game, because, you know, the record, it's almost like that golden touch. They'd buy it off Mike. He didn't even pay to begin with. And then whoever's playing Mortal Kombat, bring in and kill them. And it was like back and forth. I think that's bullying 101, but anyways. So, people would be afraid to play. They'd see kind of, they go, no, they'd leave. So Mike would pay people, you know, for the moves and whatever else, and not only, but rumors. So, he started saying, look, you know, you can get other things, and rumors started sprawling, like anything. When Scorpion did his, rope, or the Khmer, we would say, oh my God, like there's codes that say, get the fuck over here, oh my God, ah. And there's codes that say that, and it swears, because we're thinking it's so deadly anyways, it's probably swears too. You can do ball shots, and I'll again show you my gameplay, because I like Johnny Cage. Sub-Zero's my top tier on this for me, and no pun intended. So we would play that, or pun intended, the hell of it. So yeah, you know, we'd rumor, they'd, yeah, I got everything, man. So they'd pay them whatever, because remember, you couldn't go on the internet back then to find out. You'd have to go. So Mike would take money from these kids, give them rumors. Here's how to do secret things. And there's even special moves, and there is, and I'll show you, hopefully, and I actually did it when I was getting to the endurance. You can, with Johnny Cage, if you time it right, remember, this is PCB version 3.0, you can knock 2 heads off the opponent. So, Mike would be like, hey, there's a secret, more money, you can knock 2 heads off, hustling. And it worked, it was legitimate. So, we'd say, here, there's how to, you know, knock people's head off and whatever else. And it came to the point that, again, a new legend began. It was Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. Which was better? Who liked what? The rumors on both. Shang Lung's secret, Reptile, and then Mike would say, hey, there's this hidden fighter Reptile. How do you get to Reptile? Because he shows up, you know, during the match. How to get to him. People would play, try to beat Mike, follow him. Man, it was just insane. It was just absolutely crazy. So, you know, we waited for it to come to the home console, of course. It came, I had Super Nintendo. My neighbors had Genesis. Now, the way that our childhood was, we had Super Nintendo, like white. Our neighbors had Sega Genesis, they're black. And we always had this thing where a lot of the black kids, either sports, games, or whatever, had Genesis, Sega Genesis, and the white kids had Super Nintendo. It was weird. I don't know, is that true? Because every time I talked to black dudes and friends of mine who were like black as well, they'd say that, yo, Genesis was way better than Super Nintendo. I'm like, fuck that. Super Nintendo had better games. And they go, nah, we had better sports. Now, they screwed me because when it came to home console, the Super Nintendo was censored. The same fatalities they had in this, they didn't necessarily have, and they didn't have blood. They had sweat. It was great. It sucked. I was pissed off when I got it. Damn it, it's out again. Either way. So, I'll finish that up later on. We're at the end of it. Again, it got to the home console. Sega Genesis had a code for all the fatalities. Everybody was like, aha, Steve, we told you it was better. I'm like, yeah, you got me on this one. Disappointed. Until Mortal Kombat 2 came, and both were with blood and gore. So, that's pretty much my memories. It was just absolute madness. You know, everyone went back and forth. Which one is better? They both have a, you know, a special place in my heart. It was just absolute madness. And again, it continues on with every other game I have. So I hope you guys enjoyed the memories. I got everything on the list. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have your own memories, comment below, email me, tweet me, whatever you want to do, get in contact. I'm more than happy to help, always, I am. And again, Top Tier is just growing. If you haven't subscribed yet, press the subscribe. Remember, there's at least minimum 5 videos per game. I just picked up 2 new games. I'm going to show you now in a second. Double Dragon's going to be next. Oh my god, the memories on that too. So, again, if you haven't subscribed, do so. It's free. It's 2 seconds. Follow me. Do whatever you got to do. It's only going to continue. Give me feedback. I want to hear it, good or bad. Hit me up with all your ideas and all your experiences as well. So, guys, it's been a pleasure again. I mean that. Thanks for checking out my channel, watching me, commenting. I'm loving doing this, you know, every week. And let me just quickly now take you and I'm going to show you the quick room here and what we got set up. So, let me just move this aside one moment here. So again, man, that's Mortal Kombat, the memories. Outrageous, definitely crazy. So what we're going to be doing is, so here's the way the setup is. Now, here's the way it works. And I know we're going hard on time. So again, I'm blowing smoke too because I'm smoking in here. And I took the clothes out because I didn't want our clothes to smell. So what happens? When I moved the Killer Instinct games in here, I had to take off this door. But again, I put it back. It doesn't, you know, scrape or nothing. So I brought these in. So there's Killer Instinct 1, Killer Instinct 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Mortal Kombat 1, where I do all my editing. There's my computer and all of our stuff, our little office, Double Dragon, and of course Miss Pac-Man. So, and then there's all my, not all, but most of my tools, video games tools, a degaussing coil, extra power supply, garbage, whatever. So, and I even have a little tennis ball, so not to bang. So it's tight, it's fun, it's bright in here when the lights are off. And you know what? I'm going to wrap it up. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. So I know it's a longer one, but I have to do it. Now, if you look up there, that project is still pending. I'm almost there. Almost. I've actually ordered, as you can see, I printed out the manuals as I do every one. Killer Instinct 1, just got those from Staples yesterday. Killer Instinct 2, I got the bolts for just here with these holes here. I'm gonna just fill them in. I'll paint them black later once I have them in my home. I ordered parts for Killer Instinct 2. The power supply was not giving me good voltages. I was a little afraid. Remember I said the sound wasn't working? I got it working. I just had and I'll go through it, you know, when I do the review, and I don't want to, just to give you a quick teaser here, but I ordered a new power supply from Suzo Hap, and pretty much new buttons and whatever. Now, really quick, it was a bummer, but it is what it is. Look what happened. Damn it. This was a original overlay. They had the Lexan. I'll go into details, I'll say it quick. The guy I bought it from had Coke or pop spilt under it, and that's why I wanted to clean it. Well, this came out in '96, and he bought it in 2001, he told me. And they had pop all over it, and he never changed it, and it was there for, you know, I mean, what would that be? So it was there for around 15 years, and when I pulled off the Lexan like you do on all my games, the acidity literally pulled off the paint, which is such a pain in the ass. But it is what it is. I mean, I can get a, you know, a reprint. They look good. Honestly, $50, whatever they are. I'm not going to do it yet because they're still in the apartment. We're going to play on them. Killer Instinct 1's good. Little here. I'll just, you know, color that in, whatever. It's very minimal. But other than that, so these are going to be on. I have the next video, again, is going to be the gameplay of Mortal Kombat. I'm going to do the walkthrough or the game playthrough. Show you. I'm going to try to do all the fatalities, try to do everything. And that pretty much wraps it up. So guys, again, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again for choosing Top Tier. Hit me up if you need to. And all the best. Peace.